Alright, good night folks. Tonight I'm going to show you how to do implementation of a VPN solution. Alright, first I'm going to start off with some information on what is a VPN. A VPN, or virtual private network, is a network that is constructed by using public wires, usually the internet, to connect to a private network such as a company's internal network. So that's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to install our role in Active Directory. We'll install our roles in Active Directory, right? And then we're going to give it access, grant access to the server, and okay. So we're going to add roles. Alright. Right, so we're going to click next. Alright, we're going to install network policy and access services. Network policy and access services provides network policy server, routing and remote access, health registration authority, and host credential authorization protocol, which helps safeguard the health and security of your network. Alright, so we're going to install that rule. Right, some additional information. We click next. Right, here we're going to select the rules for the network policy and access services. We're going to select network policy server, as we said, as we read earlier on. The network policy server allows you to create and enforce organization-wide network access policies for client health, connection, request authentication, and connection request authorization. With NPS, you can also deploy network access protection, a client health policy creation, enforcement, and remediation technology. Then we have routing and remote access services, which provides remote users access to resources on your private network over virtual private network. This is one of the major roles or service that would allow us to create our VPN, right? For virtual private network or dial-up connections. Server configured with the routing and remote access service can provide LAN and WAN routing services used to connect network segments within a small office or to connect two private networks over the internet. Alright, so we have these roles here. We click install. Okay, so we're going to resume when the installation has completed. Right, so we've successfully installed our network policy access services, such as the network policy server and remote routing and remote access services. So we're going to click close. Alright, and so from here we're going to go to our start menu, and we're going to go to administrative tools and set up our routing and remote access. Alright, so as you can see here, it says welcome to routing and remote access. We're going to click on our server and it says here to configure routing and remote access server. So we're going to right click and we're going to click Configure, Enable Routing and Remote Access. Alright, so we have the routing and remote access setup wizard. Okay, so we're going to click Next. So configuration here, you can enable any of the following combination of services, or you can customize the server. So for this configuration, we're going to use custom configuration, because if it is we use remote access or dial-up or VPN, we need 2 network adapters or network interfaces in order to set this option up. As you can see, if it is we choose this option and we click Next, it's going to block us, right? So we only have one, so we're going to use custom configuration, right? So we're going to click Next. We're going to allow VPN access. We're going to click Next. Then we click Finish. Yes. Okay, so we're going to start the remote access service. Alright, so remote access, routing and remote access is configured on the server. So we're going to go to ports on the drop down box, and we're going to right click. We're going to click Properties, and in the one mini port L2 TP, we're going to change we're going to configure it to allow the maximum number of ports to 25. We're going to set that. And the SSTP to the maximum number of ports to be 25. Right? So we have SSTP and L2TP with maximum number of 25 ports. So we're going to click Apply. We're going to click OK. And as we can see, the SSTP 25 ports. Then we have the PPTP, which is 128. And then we're going to go to the L2 TP, which I guess is further up. Ooh, Alright, well, you're supposed to see the ports here, the one mini ports, right? So we're going to close this option, and now we're going to select our network policy server. Alright, so we're going to click go to Administrative Tools and set up the Network Policy server. Alright, so we're in the NPS, and we're going to go to Policies. In drop down box, we're going to go to Network Policies. Alright, we're going to go to Policies. We're going to click Configure Network Policies. Right, it's going to take us to this tab here. right? Okay, so we're going to create a new connection, a new network policy, sorry. We're going to right click, click new. We're going to give it a policy name, so I'm going to give it server VPN policy. And on the type of network access server, we're going to click remote access server, VPN or dial-up. Click next. It would seem that okay, so we're going to click next. So we're going to go to conditions, specify conditions, and we're going to add a new condition. We're going to scroll down to tunnel type. Here we go. We're going to add tunnel type. And under the tunnel type, we're going to select layer to tunnel protocol and point to point tunnel protocol. All right. Alright, so we're going to click next. To specify access permission, we're going to give it the access granted permission. Under authentication methods, we're going to uncheck user can change password after it's expired, and we're going to uncheck Microsoft encrypted authentication. And we're going to select the first option, which is Microsoft encrypted authentication version 2, which is MS CHAP version 2. So we're going to click next. Okay. Under the configure constraints, we're going to go to day and time constraints, and we're going to check the box that says allow access only on these days and times. This will allow us to set the days and times that our clients can connect to our VPN. So we're going to click edit, and the blue bars indicate if it's permitted to connect on those days, and the white bars, which you will see in a moment, will signify that they have no access on these particular days and times. So on a Sunday, they are not allowed to connect for 24 hours on a Sunday. They are not allowed to connect for 24 hours on a Saturday, and from a Monday to Friday, and they are not allowed to connect from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. and from Monday to Friday on 12 p.m. So essentially, all VPN clients would only have access to the server from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Alright, then we're going to click OK, and then we're going to click next. And under the configure settings, we're going to configure encryption. Alright, now we have 4 options here, and we're going to uncheck 3 options, which is no encryption, strong encryption, and basic encryption. And the encryption type we'll have is the strongest encryption, or MPPE 128-bit. So we're going to click next. Alright, these here are our configuration settings. So we're going to click finish. So, right. So, today we are going to, I'm going to now set up a connection, a virtual VPN connection, and then I am going to connect to my VPN, alright? But first, I'm going to go to my firewall, alright? And I'm going to click allow a program or feature through firewall. As you can see here, routing and remote access has not been allowed, so we're going to allow routing and remote access. Okay, that's it. Click. Alright, so we can allow routing and remote access for domain, home, work, and private, either one. Alright, and so I believe that is all we are going to do for here. Alright, and we're going to click OK. Alright, so now we are going to go to Network and Sharing Center. Alright. Okay, so we're going to set up a new connection to our network, right? So we're going to connect to our workplace. This is where we're going to set up our VPN connection. We're going to select the first option to use internet connection, but we'll set up an internet connection later. And we're going to type in our server address here, all right? And we're going to leave this here as our, we can put this as VPN connection 1 if we have to change it, all right? We're going to put the username of the PC. Alright, so our username is Kim Cars. So we're going to put in and password of Kim Cars. Right. Right, so we're going to click create. Voila. Okay, so now to see if we've created our connection, we're going to go to change adapter settings. As you can see here, we've managed to use our connection. We've managed to set up our connection or create our connection, and now it's just to connect to our VPN. Alright, so we're going to type in the password. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to reconnect. So we're going to click connect. We're going to type in the username just as it is on the server, on the computer, the host machine. Well, this machine here, right? Type in the password of the user to log in. Hit enter. And we have successfully connected to our VPN. Right, as you can see, let's go do a couple things here. Oh, sorry. Status. Right, as you can see here, we are in status. We're going to click details. All right, this is the IP address of our machine, and as you can see, it's connected to the DNS server. So we have basically completed our tutorial in setting up our VPN server. Alright, just remember when you come into a new client to enable remote routing and remote access in the firewall to allow that. Make sure when it is you are creating the connection, you enter the username of the machine that you are currently on. Alright. The password of the machine that you use to log on. Alright, your username and password to create the connection. Alright, and when you are connecting, make sure and type in all the information correctly, and you should get on pretty well. I did make some changes here to the security aspect, and I selected the point-to-point tunneling protocol. This layer 2 tunneling protocol with IPsec, that one requires a certificate, so I used this protocol instead. Alright, I selected the maximum strength encryption, okay, which is the 128-bit encryption. That's the incredibly powerful one. As you can see here, everything is basically set up. It's right, it's good. Alright, as you can see, we have our client Kim Cars connected. Alright, well, these are our network adapters, the internal adapter, our local area connection, and our loopback. Alright, our ports, remote access login policies. Alright, so now that we have done all those things where we set up the connection, we configure the firewall. Now what I want to do, alright, well, we've configured the firewall to allow routing and remote access. Now we are going to go back to our server, alright, and in routing and remote access, alright, as you can see here, as I said earlier on, we've had the clients connected, the remote access logging and policies, alright. With regards to with regards to abolishment, all right, we're going to launch NPS policy server, network policy server. We're going to click on properties, right? We're going to go to constraints, and we're going to settle some time to log out, all right? So idle time, we're going to disconnect in minutes, all right? So we're going to disconnect. If idle for about 5 minutes, we're going to disconnect. If it's session timeout, the maximum amount of time in minutes that the user can be connected, we're going to give the connection of 120 minutes, which is roughly 2 hours. So they can be connected to 2 hours at a time. If, just for the purpose of this, video, we're going to give that. All right. So this is basically saying here the users can be connected for 2 hours at a time, and then they have to reconnect. All right, just in case they manage to forget their stuff out and they, let's just set it like that. All right, and the timeout session, if they happen to go away from their desk, seeing as it's a limited amount of users that can connect at a time, we're going to allow each user to have at least 2 hours to connect. And if they're idle within 5 minutes, that means they're not using it, and so another user can connect. All right, so we're going to disconnect after 5 minutes. All right, so that we have managed to. Right, so we can also create our custom views here as well. We have some administrative events. Okay. Alright, so this is the remote access. Alright, so we're going to click refresh. Right, and we can create a custom view. Right, for the sources, we can create it by source, warning, information, event levels. All right, we can select those four, and we can go to anything doing with remote access services. So anything with RAS, we're going to record information for. All right. Right. All right. So we're going to use all those constrictions. All users, all computers, and we're going to click OK. All right. We're going to name this VPN event log. All right. Okay. So this is basically anything to do with the remote access or RAS or anything like that. We will record anything that's happening on the server machine when anyone tries to connect to the server, or we can do anything from the client side. We can change it to do anything with remote access as well. Let's see. Right, so we're going to click OK. All right, so that is basically right. So that is basically it there. We're going to do anything with regards to remote access. So we can see different logs here, the different warnings and right. This basically tells you all the information with regards. But you can, as we created the custom views for VPN event log. All right, this will basically tell us, you know, date and time. Okay. All right. So these are basically the event logs for anything regarding remote access services. All right. So we've officially completed our virtual private network tutorial, and I hope to see you guys soon. Okay, hope this was very helpful to you, and hope you enjoy. Good night.